we was struggling like a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Lights get cut off, we had to steal meters and shit, you know what I'm saying? My mama was like, getting credit work and having holding these niggas, her welfare checks and her, you know what I'm saying, all her WIC and all this shit, it went to the niggas in the hood. So when I got this motherfucking crack bomb, that shit just fell in my hand. So I took it to my mama like, shit, ma, look what I got. I need you to help me sell this shit. So she was like, all right, I got you. So, that me and her, we started selling, she helped me get off the work. And so like my mama, she became like, like my first customer in the drug game. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't no shit that I wanted to get into. Nowadays niggas want to be a part of this. Niggas want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? Niggas want to be act like they drug dealers and trappers. Niggas that don't even have to do that shit. So that's how I got in the game. So, I started, serving my mom and her friend, through my brother and them bum. They never knew what happened to it. You know what I'm saying? And, I used to credit my mama to work, make sure that I get her first check. So when the shit came, I can, put the food in the fridge because my sisters, we needed food in the house. So basically in the 6th grade, I quit school, you know what I'm saying? And which isn't cool at all, but that was just under the circumstances. I was forced to quit school. I became a full-time drug dealer. And in the streets, by the time I was 13 years old, I had got robbed by 2 white boys. And they beat me real bad with a pistol. So almost 10 days later, they found these 2 white boys murdered on my block. They got execution style murdered in my hood, just straight, they just slayed on the block. So although I don't know nothing about that shit, you know what I'm saying? Murder investigations are what they are. They still came and got me and my whole gang, me and my whole clique. And at the time, like I said, I was 12 going on 13. So, you know what I'm saying? I was up on a heavy investigation, heavy interrogation. You know what I'm saying? They kicking in all my people's doors and shit, getting all my clothes, sending it to Atlanta with, sending it up here for ballistics and blood samples and so on and so forth. So, life had got real, shit was like hell for me, you know what I'm saying, growing up. And I was a nigga in the street, like I went up on a lot of OG niggas. And so they taught me how to rob. So we was going from motherfucking set to set, hood to hood, and hitting motherfucking lick. That's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? We jumping out on niggas in broad day. We robbing niggas. We selling dope. So I came up, you know what I'm saying, in a real rough manner. And I ain't saying that in no bragging way because nowadays, I'm elevated and that ain't the shit that I'm on. But just give you a background of what it was. But even when I was growing up, I was influenced by niggas like Chris Cross, seeing Jermaine Dupri, you know what I'm saying, get young kids and make them superstars. So I always wanted to rap. So although I was in the hood still doing my shit, I was still, rapping and shit, just doing little raps around the hood. And I went to jail in 19, one of my best friends got murdered. So I ended up going to jail in 1996 for a stream of armed robberies and home invasions and shit. And I went to Millersville Youth Prison down in Millersville, Georgia. So when I got out of youth prison, my nigga Ella B, Kinky B, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kinky B, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he had met Jay, he had met Jeezy at a boot camp or some shit. And he was like, listen, bro, because they called me Lil Mill in the hood, you know what I'm saying? That's my name, Lil Mill. Like in Macon, Georgia, you say Lil Mill, you say Goldmouth, you know what I'm saying? Resonate with them right now. But King and Jeezy, they always call me Lil Mill. So when I got out of YDC, they like, shit, man, King, like, bro, I need to introduce you to my nigga, Jeezy. Man, you know what I'm saying? He can't rap or no shit like that, but, we want to kind of be on the executive side of things. And if we could do that, you know what I'm saying? You could be the rapper, my nigga, and we could just move forward and kick the dough down in the rap industry. So King introduced me to Jeezy. So Jeezy, you know what I'm saying, took a liking to me. Jeezy had already heard that I was like notorious in the street, you know what I'm saying? Jeezy had already, so they were looking, because back then, if you were going to talk the street shit, you had to be a real street nigga. Like, when Scarface and all these niggas was popping, the Two-Face, the Tupac, the MC8, all these niggas was popping, you really had to be a street nigga. So they figured that if they put me in the music industry, I could talk all the street shit in the world and niggas can't do nothing but give me that credibility, give me that respect. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we started this label. Or originally, we came up here to Atlanta and linked up with some niggas that was on Itchabon Records. And we went through Jeezy cousin, Said Black and G Money, and they had did an album called Hell in the ATL. And with that album right there, they allowed me to do a single on that record. You know what I'm saying? And so we did this shit called Hell in the ATL. And then later, you know what I'm saying, me, Jeezy, and Kink, we started a label called Young Guns Entertainment. And I was still knee deep in the street. We was making music and shit, but music wasn't paying my motherfucking bill. So, you know, Kink, you know, Mailman, my nigga Jeezy, they always be like, bro, you need to fall back. You know what I'm saying? I was steady catching, you know what I'm saying? I was steady getting accused of murders and shit. Every time a nigga get killed in the hood, they always, you know, blame this shit on me. And it was kind of crazy because I was always on a motherfucking surveillance. I was always, you know, I was a hot boy. Like literally, and we would ride around bumping the hot boys back then. So it was like, it was like, chill out, bro. You know what I'm saying? We gonna blow. Cause you know what I'm saying? King and Jeezy, them niggas wasn't no rappers. I used to write rhymes for King. Cause you know, King, he tried his little rap shit back then. Yeah. But the shit didn't really go, you know what I'm saying, too good for him. So he kind of fell back and did the executive thing. And Jeezy wasn't no rapper either. But, you know, we had formed a group. And throughout that group, one of my group members fucked around and caught a case. And then I was steady catching cases. I had to shoot out with the police. And Jeezy was like, damn, my nigga, like, King, like, bro, we done invested all this money, my nigga. Y'all niggas steady in the streets. Y'all niggas ain't taking this shit serious. I ain't really understand then, you know what I'm saying? The shit that I understand now. So I used to question them niggas like, what you mean I ain't taking this shit serious? I hit the studio, I do the rap shit, you know what I'm saying? I do the records, but nigga, I gotta eat. This is the only way I know to eat is the streets. So I end up, you know what I'm saying? In 2002, I end up catching an attempt murder charge in Florida. And I end up catching 35 years. I went to trial. So I caught 35 years in prison. So by the time, you know, the kink and the CTE movement, you know what I'm saying, blew up, I was already in prison. I was serving time. You see what I'm saying? So to clarify the GoldMouf situation, no, I'm not that GoldMouf. You know what I'm saying? That's Dewan, right? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dewan. He's a regular, you know, regular person. He worked, you know what I'm saying? Good dude, don't desire to be in the spotlight. But a lot of people automatically assume that, you know what I'm saying? Because in prison, I had nothing but golds all across my mouth. So in prison, that's when niggas started calling me that. So just so happened, coincidentally, me and Jeezy have our deep relationship, our deep history. So niggas automatically assume that on their own, you know what I'm saying? But I never try to take credit for anybody's name or no shit like that. Jeezy mentioned me in like 4 songs. He did a song called Where I'm From when he was like, you know what I'm saying? My nigga Lil Mill, the nigga got 100 bodies and shit, you know what I'm saying? And then he just did this new song with Boosie on the Rocket Man record. And he was speaking on how I had just did 20 years. I came home and I asked him for a verse and he showed me love, gave me a couple of verses, you know what I'm saying? So we just did a couple of records together. So just to clarify that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at what point did you meet or link up with Rollo?
So when I got out of prison with like $300,000 in, you know what I'm saying? A little bit above $300,000. I wrote a book while I was in prison, you know what I'm saying? I wrote 2 books actually, you know what I'm saying? So I was running it up while I was in prison. And when I got out, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a motherfucker ain't give me a pair of socks. And, you know, it was kind of disappointing because, you know, I thought somebody would come to my aid and try to assist me in some shape, form, or fashion. You see what I'm saying? I got a lot of niggas that, you know what I'm saying, was in the streets doing their thing or whatever. But they was like, nigga, you been gone for forever, nigga. I guess your time over with. So niggas ain't really believe in the vision. They ain't believe in the shit that I had going on. So I got out of prison with, you know, with the money that I had. And I started investing in music. I started investing in, you know, back in the rap game, you know what I'm saying, coming up with my own merch, coming up with, you know, different ideas. And I had already invested there in the 6 figures into music. And I met Queen, which was at the time Rollo manager. You see what I'm saying? So she seen what I was doing. She seen I was a boss in my own right. So she was like, shit, you could be an asset to our team. You see what I'm saying? So she got me on the phone with Rollo. Rollo a Muslim, of course. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Muslim. We got similar backgrounds, you know what I'm saying? Being in the streets, doing whatever it is, you know, we was doing. And so we got on the phone conversation and everything went from there, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So what, like musically, I guess, so what's the plan now musically? Because you had your vacations, you had all the stuff that's happened, but you still aspire to do the music and pop doing the music, right?
Yeah. Music has always been one of my dreams, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty good at music. But after sitting down in the penitentiary for over 17 years, you know what I'm saying? You have to get back out here and get reintegrated into society, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pick up on the new slang and things and all the shit that these niggas doing out here. And then, you know, as you grow, as you get more familiar, as you get more acquainted with society, you know, your music improves. So I dropped three albums already, 3 underground albums, since I got released from prison. And you know, the one that I dropped in association with the Fam Goon brand, it did pretty good. I had a lot of features on it, you know what I'm saying? I had Boosie, Derez, Deshaun, Anthony Hamilton, Don Tripp, you know what I'm saying? Beanie Siegel, you know what I'm saying? So I had a pretty good feature lineup. But as I say, my music was it was on a continued climb, you know what I'm saying? Trying to grow. So basically I've been lately I've been recording. I'm finna get ready to drop my new project, which is called Now or Never. Cause for me it's now or never. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna either do this shit now or I ain't gonna do this shit at all. You feel me?